Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. It is exactly 9 o'clock. Today is July 22nd, and it is the Tuesday after we got back from the most amazing event I think that I have been to, and if not the most amazing, perhaps one of the in my 20 years of participating with this amazing company. And my name is Carla Sandoval. I'm calling here from Los Angeles. I thought I would do something a little different today. Well, it's not really that different because one of the things that we've been doing on these calls since back in September has been developing the leader within you. And we've been taking, if you're on the phone for the first time today, we've been taking a journey where we started to look at, what does it take to be a leader? And the first couple of weeks, we really started to be more conscious and start developing discipline as far as what does it take to develop the leader within you. And why I stress the word you is because one of the things that we wanted to look at, or we've been looking at, is what is it that we do, we say, we think, that has us be who we are and has us lead how we lead. And so from there, we took it on to some other series. We've done sales series. We've done growth culture series. We've done manifesting, warrior, core four. We've done all kinds of calls, and now everything is online. So what I thought we would do today is we just got back from the most amazing extravaganza in Chicago, Illinois, where approximately, I think there was 12 or 14,000 people that were there together. And I have to tell you, I got my medal for 20 years of participating. I started consuming the product since I was 16 years old. And so yes, I'm 36. And so it was really exciting to be there and see the longevity of the people that have been involved for a really long time. But more importantly, it was really inspiring to see all the young people, young in age and young in time with the company, grow tremendously. And so one of the things that the company has really been doing for the last several years because of the growth has been really focusing on leadership. Because the truth of the matter is everything, and we've been talking about this from the beginning, is that everything rises and falls in leadership. Oh, by the way, this call is going to be very intense. So if you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil, I highly recommend that you do, because I'm going to be giving you a lot of nuggets. I'm going to give you a peek into my leadership notes, because the first day that we were there, which was Wednesday, I don't even know. The first day that we were there, we had a Future Millionaire Team Experience training. And the whole training was amazing, the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But this particular training was a training at another level. I would like to say it was a training without diapers. You know what I mean? Like it was a training where they, not that they don't always speak the truth, but most of the time they talk to the lowest common denominator, and they want to make sure that they speak into that listening. So the listening of Wednesday, which was the Future Millionaire Team Experience, was all about leadership and what does it take to have you grow as a leader. And I have to tell you that when I was sitting there, and this is a tip I want to give each and every one of you, and that is anytime you go to a training, whether you go to an STS or you go to a Leadership Development Weekend or an extravaganza, which is coming up in October for the Latin market, I really invite you to get present to what is it that you want to learn. So, as I was walking towards the convention center, I was walking by myself and talking to myself, and as many of you who have been on the call know this already about me, that I talk to myself a lot, right? And I just started asking, okay, Carla, what do you want to learn? And there were so many things that came to my mind, and I was like, okay, I want to learn this. I want to get clear about that. I want to get clear about this. I want to get clear about that. And then at the end, I kind of did a prayer, right? And I just said, I want to respect everybody's beliefs on the phone, but this is what I said. And I said, God, let me hear what I need to hear, and let me learn what I need to learn in order to take my business to another level. And because at the end of the day, I might think I know what I need to learn, but the truth of the matter is sometimes we're so in it that we don't see it, right? So I'm going to give you a peek into my notes. And this is coming from Chairman's Club member Kirk O'Connell. And perhaps next week, depending on how much we can do this week or today's call, perhaps next week I'll go into what Stefan Graziani taught us, and that is about a leader being relevant. But the first thing that we talked about with Kurt O'Connell, which was all about leadership. He built one of the fastest growing organizations when he was on the move. And so he has a lot of experience of leadership on the high and the leadership on the low, right? So grab a piece of paper and a pencil, because here we go. So the first thing we all got, Dan Waldron opened up. And the first thing that we want to look at, and this is with anything that you want to start looking at, building your business, building your organization, whatever business you're in, okay, is that, number one, you must cast a vision, okay? In our call series back in the day, we talked about an entrepreneur or a business needs to have three things: an entrepreneur, a manager, and a technician. The entrepreneur is the visionary, the one that comes up with that's the inventor, if you will. So number one is we must cast a vision of what it is that you want to accomplish, what is it that you are out to create. And you want to look at, number two, what legacy do you want to leave? Because if you operate from there, like what legacy you want to leave, your life now has a purpose. The things that you do now have a purpose, okay? And number three is what is possible for you. Like for you to look at, if you cast a vision, if you know what legacy you want to leave, so what's possible for you? And to start looking at what is that going to give you, okay? So write it down. What is that going to give you? How is that going to make you feel? How is that going to make you feel about you, about the world, right? And so when you do this, this is like the foundation. You want to start having, and we've been talking about this, and it was so awesome when Dan Waldron talked about this up on stage. I'm like, all right, my guys must know this, right? The whole Core 4 concept, but he called it having the level 10 in number one, your body. Here's the thing, I just got back from the gym, and, I went to the Lady Gaga concert last night, got home really, really late, and I really wanted to sleep in. But here's the thing, I know that I have this call with you at 9 o'clock. If I would have slept in, I would not be as energetic and as alive as I am right now, because exercising is like your body is a vessel of energy. So by me going to go work out this morning, I had my, I don't know if you guys have tried the new 24 chocolate shake, the Formula One. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I had that in the morning, got dressed, and I had what I call my beast juice, right, which I won't get into details of it, but it's like our Herbalife 24 Prepare and other stuff. And I went to the gym, and, I took a shower and rushed back home to be on this call with you guys. I had my post-recovery shake on the way back home. So my body's fueled with energy. It has what it needs. So I can perform at a level 10. So number one is having a level 10 in your body, okay? Number two, and that's not just using the products, you guys. It's using the products, exercising and eating right, drinking a lot of water, getting rest, which that's the one thing I lack, right? I like, if I sleep too much, I get a headache. So, but anyhow, your body needs all those things. It doesn't just need the products. It needs the product plus the water, plus the exercise, plus, fueling your body with the right food. That's how you get a level 10 body. Number two, getting the level 10 spirit. We've talked about this, in the Core 4, we talk about taking care of that part of you, and in the Core 4, we talk about doing something every single day for meditating, and every single day, like having some type of study or prayer, whether it's you pray, you read the Bible, whatever it is for you, right? But taking care of your spirit. Number three, a level 10 into your mindset, meaning what? You're doing that personal development. Nurture that part of you. Do something every single day to better yourself, okay? In other words, in the Core 4, we talk about, in the business part of it, we talk about taking action, and the other one is about studying. And he forgot to do this, which I'm going to share this with him, but I want to remind you guys that the other thing that's missing here is the relationships, level 10 relationships. And they talked a lot about this at Extravaganza, and the thing about it is that life, business, everything, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationship. And you just want to got to look at that. And I'm not kidding. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. The relationship with your loved one, meaning your husband, wife, significant other, right? The relationship with your children, the relationships with your family, the relationships with friends. When you have these 4 things handled, and then they're not always going to be perfect, but when you invest every single day into your body, every single day into your spirit, every single day into your mind and your business, every single day into your relationships, the quality of your life will drastically improve a little bit at a time. It's no longer hitting home runs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube and search Carla Sandoval, sales, and you'll see all my audio series. And I'm actually going to upload everything onto a website called entrepreneurintelligence.com. When that website goes live, I will definitely let you guys know. But for now, just go back to the YouTube and look at that. The core 4 in Spanish and the core 4 in English is there. So why am I saying this? Because this is the foundation of your leadership. If you're not good, nothing else will be, because it all starts with you. So now, let's go into this whole leadership. I'm going to take you through my notes. This morning I read them, highlighted them, so I wanted to share them with you guys. And the first thing you want to look at, okay, when you're looking at your leadership in your business is, number 1, what is your role description? So if you have a job, whatever it is, they're going to give you a description of what you need to do every single day, whatever that may be. Let's say you are working as a waitress, right? Your role description would be to serve X amount of tables, and I'll tell you which tables, and give extraordinary customer service, get the food. You get the picture, right? So, our role description will depend on your particular goal. So maybe your goal description, there we go. If you're looking to make some extra income, it might be getting X amount of clients, talking to X amount of people a day, assisting X amount of fit camps a week, assisting X amount of HOMs a week. So if you are a leader, if with your team, number 1, you got to get your own roles description. But when you register somebody into the big company, if they just want to be a member to consume the product at a discount, no problem, right? Their role description is like consuming the product. But if somebody really wants to build a business, whether it's part-time income or if they want to make this a career, I really invite you to sit down and explain to them what is their roles description. Because that will make it clear for them, okay, depending on how much money you want to make, this is what you need to do, how many clients, how many contacts. Now we've got this calendar to support you. We've got these fit camps. We have these HOMs. We have these quick starts. We have these STSs. Oh, by the way, we have October LDW. We have October extravaganza. So you lay it out for them. Don't be shy. And here's the thing I got from this weekend is your level of certainty will transmit to the people that you're speaking with. So if you are uncertain, okay, and this is like, I'm kind of jumping notes here, but Stefan was so much talking about that a leader must be relevant, must know what's going on at all times, must know the calendar, must know the promotions, must know everything about their business. Otherwise, you might have a leadership role because of a pin, because of a position, but if you're not relevant, you're not giving people the appropriate information, you're not a true leader. You're not a quality leader. You're not an effective leader, okay? So number 1 is know your roles description. Now, having said that, with your roles description, you've got a plan to do every single day, a daily method of operation. Now, here's the thing you want to make sure that whatever your plan is, number 2, it's duplicatable. So number 1, what's your roles description? Number 2, is it duplicatable? Okay? Number 3, be aware of distractions. Now, number 3, be aware of distractions. Now, what is that? Is anything that takes you away from your role description, from your daily method of operation, etc. And here's the thing, all distractions are equal. Now, you could say, and she talked about the fact that, personal development, exercise, and all those things are great to do. But if you're spending your entire day on any of those and they are distracting you from doing what you need to do, even though they're good things to do, they're still distractions because they're still taking you away from your daily method of operation. So number 3, beware of distractions. Number 4, enroll your family and your friends. This is so crucial. The reason is because otherwise, again, the quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. If your family and your friends are not enrolled in what you're up to, I really invite you to start. Now, that doesn't mean they have to do the business with you. That doesn't mean they have to take the products. But you must enroll them in what you're up to. so that they can support you, okay? Now, here's the other thing. You want to make sure that you block time to make sure that you do it all, right? Like, look, yesterday, it was like I was so busy yesterday. I had tons of things to do. I got back from extravaganza. I had all these calls to get on, and my boyfriend had told me that he had tickets for Lady Gaga, and I didn't even know. He told me, like, Sunday night when he picked me up. And he's like, do you want to go? And I'm like, sure, why not, And I was like, oh, my God, I have all these calls. But guess what? I write this down, block time for things that are essential and focus on that. So for me, it meant not answering emails. For me, it meant not looking at my phone that much. For me, it meant focusing. I had like a conference call at 11, another one at 5 that went longer than it was supposed to, so it went like all the way to 6:30, and then I had another one at 7, right? And then I had the concert. I had to be in downtown by 8 p.m. But here's the thing, you guys, if you organize yourself, you can do it all, okay? If you organize yourself, you ask yourself, and I did a call back in March, and that is, ask yourself, how can I? And the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your answers. So why am I saying all this? Because this is the foundation of leadership. So let's go into now that you've got that stuff written down, let's start looking at leadership, okay? Now, leadership, one of the things that a leader wants to do, write this down, is build momentum. Okay, build momentum, because that's the only way things will get going. Now, one of the things you want to look at, and everybody's got different activities, whether it's a fit camp, fit club, HOMs, boot camps, whatever you got going on, right? They're called communities. So we here in Herbalife are committed to developing quality communities that make an impact out in the world, whether it's through exercise, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that your community is doing is the community that you call like your business, right? And the bigger the community, the better. Now, here's the thing. The size, if you're asking yourself, like, what's going on? Why isn't my business growing? Here's what I want you to write this down. The size of community, okay, the size of your group, the size of community is determined by the quality and the capacity of the leadership. So if your business is not growing, your community is not growing, it's not about doing more, although you do want to have activity, right? But really, it's determined by the quality and the capacity of the leadership. Because, and I talked about this in the growth culture, and that is series, and that is when people come with you or come to your fit camp or whatever, the HOM, whatever you got going on, you want to be aware of what experience you are giving the people that are coming, okay? And that will determine how big the size is going to grow, because if people that come to your thing, whatever it is, and they don't feel good about being there, you bet they're not going to number one, they're not going to come back, and two, for sure they're not going to recommend people. But if the quality of the leadership and the capacity of the leadership is capable of enrolling and having people feel good about being with wherever they're at, whether it's the fit camp or HOM or whatever it is you got going on, or your business, your nutritional club, whatever, if their experience of being around you is great, then guess what? Okay, the size of your community will increase exponentially because they feel good about being around you. So the size of your community is determined by the quality and the capacity of your leadership. Now, why am I saying this? Okay, and this is the thing. Now, there's a big question: are leaders born? Are they made? Everybody has their opinion. Okay. Now, one of the things as you as a leader, if you're committed to developing your leadership, one of the things that you need to do is start developing other leaders. Okay, and here's one of the things you got to keep in mind. You got to choose people that have integrity and that have character. So if you're going to start developing other leaders, they must have those two components. You don't want to choose somebody to develop somebody who doesn't have integrity and doesn't have character, because you're investing your time with somebody. Now, I'm not saying that they could, how can I say this nicely? Okay, I'll come back to that because I want to be careful with my words. But what I'm trying to say here is you want to make sure you choose them according to their ability, and what you put into them is what you're going to get out. So if what you're putting in, what they have is what you're going to get, right? So if what they have is lack of integrity, lack of character, for as much as you want to teach them the right way, if they don't have that as a foundation, they're going to continue to do things not correctly. Okay, and this is not about right or wrong. It's just that there's integrity in doing things. We have rules and regulations and all those things that we have to abide by. Okay, and it's not like by choice, but it's something that's important. It's important. So you want to look at where are they at that moment. Now, people can evolve. I am not the same person that I was a year ago. No way. So people can evolve. So I'm not telling you disregard them, but be careful to invest your time with the people that are ready to develop themselves as leaders, that are coachable, okay? And you want to make sure you have this servant mentality. So let's go into this thing called servant leadership, okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example, which I thought was really great, that Kurt O'Connell shared, and that was he put up his farm with all these cows, okay? And then he started asking the audience, if you have all these cows, what kind of business are you in? And people started saying, oh, I'm in the dairy business, I'm in the milk producing business, I'm in the cheese business, whatever, right? But then he said, really, what you're in is in the cow caring business. Cow caring. That we take care of the cows. Because if the cows are well taken care of, the cows will then produce the milk. If the cows are well taken care of, okay, they will do 3/4 of everything that it takes to have that business operate. Because they will produce the milk, and now it's up to you to make it into milk or to cheese or yogurt or whatever, right? But so many people will look at the cows and go, okay, produce. But what they overlook is we're in the cow caring business. Now, having said that, okay, if your business is, our job is to take care of them, the question is how many cows can you have? And the answer is depending on how many you can take care of. You cannot have 100 cows if you don't have enough food to feed them. If you don't have enough resources to take care of them. But if you want to have 100 cows, what do you need? You need to get more people to help you take care of those cows. Because if you have 2 cows and you can only manage 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, and then you 5, and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this, you got to bring somebody else in to help you take care of those cows. And now you can take, if you can only take care of 4, now you bring somebody in, now you can take care of 8. You bring another person in, etc., right? And now you start to duplicate. That's our business. But here's the thing. If I bring somebody in, and I can't just go, okay, well, here, come help me. No, I have to literally go, okay, look, here's the deal. We're in the cow caring business. Our job, and you start giving them the role description of what it is that you're doing. That is how you develop a leader. So you invest your time in making sure that he or she knows exactly what he or she needs to do to take care of these cows appropriately, so that you can take care of those 4 cows and the person you brought in can take care of another 4 cows. Because if you don't train and educate and inform the new person, now you are taking care of 8 cows, and then you're going to be burned out. Okay? So it doesn't work like that. So what you got to do is you got to really start having people help people understand what is a roles description, take your time to develop them. Now, here's the thing. That person might go, you know what, this is really not for me. I cannot handle 4. I can only handle 1. Don't be like, oh, hey, loser. No, right? You go, okay, great, fantastic. Take care of 1. So now you go find somebody else. And that other person might say, yeah, I can take care of 5 people because I've been doing this my whole life, and I totally know how to. And then, boom, guess what? Now you got another person that can handle 5. One can only handle 1. You can handle 4. This other person is even more skilled than you, and now they can handle 5. So here's the thing. You want to look at where people are and what they want and respect it. And I'm telling you, I think that's one of the hardest things sometimes for us, because we see so much potential in somebody and we're like, oh, no, I know that you can do it. But here's the thing. If they don't want it, there's nothing you can do other than respect where they're at, keep loving them, have them keep coming back. And maybe later, and I know so many people that they were one of my good friends, Style Bell, he was just going to the fit camps just for fun for a long time. He wasn't doing the business. He was just hanging out, having a good time, and for I don't know how many months. And all of a sudden, one day, he's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And boom, determined it, right? Another good friend, Enrique Carrillo, what happened? For 9 months, he was doing this thing and having no results. It took him 9 months to get his very first check from Herbalife. 9 months, and now he's the fastest, biggest business in the United States. But here's the thing. Whoever was mentoring him, I'm sure was guiding him and respecting where he was at. And then when Enrique said, I'm ready, they pushed, right? They guided him. And they're like, all right, okay, how much more? Now what can you do? They kept pushing him to be the best version of himself. So you want to make sure you take a look at that, okay? Now, one of the things you want to look at is what benefits do they want will determine how you mentor them, okay? So you want to make sure that mentoring those that want to play, you want to mentor those that want to play, not somebody who's like, well, let me check this out. You're investing your time with the wrong person because at that moment in time, they're not ready. But maybe 5 months from now, they're like, okay, I'm ready. Now you invest your time in mentoring them. I'm not saying you ignore them or anything like that. What I'm saying is you invest the majority of the time with that 20%. Okay? Now, what are you going to focus on? Number one, you want to focus on their beliefs. Help them grow their perspective. I love this. On Sunday morning, they expanded on this, and that is, so many times we're like, okay, well, the person's not growing, and you ask them how many flyers, how many people they're talking to, how many guests they have, and you ask them all the numbers. Is that important? Yes. But more important than that, if you start focusing on their beliefs and what they're thinking, and you help them get over those humps and help them grow their perspective, the actions will be automatic. For those of you who didn't listen to, not last week's call because we were all traveling, but the week before that, if you didn't listen to it, go on YouTube. I'm going to upload it today, and it's called Occurring. And one of the things you want to get is how things occur to people will determine the actions they take. If something occurs difficult, they will take difficult action. If something occurs easy and fun, they will do it with no problem. So what you want to focus on is their beliefs and their perspective. And then from there, their actions will be automatic, okay? So important. And how you can do this is by building those relationships. When you're mentoring people, you must build relationships. They must be built on trust and competence. They must be built on trust and competence because people want to change. They want a different life. They want a different way of thinking. They want to be different. But here's the dilemma. I thought this was brilliant when Kurt brought this up, that people want to change how they live. They want to change how they look. They want to change. But guess what? The one thing human beings, resist the most is change. So this is why so many of us have conflicts. Because the one thing you want the most is the one thing that as a human being, we resist the most. This is why we talk so much about the things to change. You have to change. So if you want your life to change, it first has to start with you, okay? So now to conclude, we're going to look at this, okay? We're going to end the call with this. Who do you mentor? Okay, who do you mentor? This person that you mentor must have certain qualities. You've got to invest in those that display success quality. This might sound a little harsh, but here's the thing. If somebody's never had success in life, I'm not saying that they couldn't. But people, for the most part, have shown traits of leadership their entire life. When they were kids, right, they were in the student body, or when they were in high school, or whatever, they've done something where they were athletic, they were competitive, something. You want to look for those success qualities, and the way you do that is by interviewing them. Like, so tell me about your life. So what's the one thing that you're like the most proud of? And people will start telling you, especially when they were little, how they were. I think they kind of get jaded in the time when they get older, but they all have it in them. If they have success qualities, you will pick them up. You will pick up on them. Now, here are some attributes for somebody you want to mentor. Number one, okay, so let's go down the list. Positive attitude. Number 2, action-oriented. Number 1, positive attitude. Number 2, they're action-oriented. Number 3, they're teachable. Number 4, team players. Number 5, they live up to commitments. Okay, so I'm going to say this again. Number 1, positive attitude. Number 2, action-oriented. Number 3, they're teachable. Number 4, team players. Number 5, they live up to commitments. What does that mean? That whatever commitment that they set, they live up to it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, loyal. And number 7, they attract others with similar qualities. Okay, so number 1, positive attitude, action-oriented, teachable, team players, live up to commitment, loyal, attract others with similar qualities. And in conclusion, they reveal themselves by their actions. Okay? They reveal themselves by their actions. Whenever somebody is teachable and you know you can mentor them, is when you tell them something and they do it. And if they don't, they communicate to you, by when they'll do it. So important. So you guys, it's exactly 9:30. So I'm gonna finish the recording, and then I'm gonna open the lines to see if anybody has any questions. So hang on a quick second.